How long do I think it will take?
Yeah, do you have like any expectations? Do you like predict what's gonna happen?
I think that, I don't know how long it's going to take. I hope not too long. I think that we all feel a sense of urgency. I think because we have it's been such a restorative process coming back to these songs. And I think it wasn't just recentering for me, I think it was for everybody. And I think that everybody feels a spark right now. And so I think everyone's pretty on fire to make art together right now in a way that we haven't been. And in Panorama, I'm very proud of how that record turned out, and I think we all love that record a lot, but it was hard to make. And I think this one will be a little easier. I think we're gonna not, I don't know. I think that it will be darker. I think it will reflect the world around us, which is a very inane thing to say because art always does. But I think that I don't know. No, I know. It's just hard to. It's just hard to say something because I don't know how it's gonna turn out or where it always ends up somewhere else. I think we all kind of feel a desire to go back to the. Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say we overthought Panorama because I think we thought exactly as much as we needed to make that record, and I think that's generally how those things work. And so I feel like saying we're not gonna overthink this implies we've done so in the past, and I don't think that's true. I don't want to imply that we won't think a lot about it because we're analytical people and there are perfectionists in the band, and I think all of those things will continue to be reflected in the end product, but I think there is a desire to go back to the urgency you feel in your early 20s when you're driven entirely by passion and without pretense and without concern for the possibility of failure or, you know what I mean? So I think that we just want to make a fucking record. Did you have any inclination?
In what section? Honestly, I think the opening track is my favorite, maybe on the record, not because I think it's a really impressive song, but because it just points to what La Dispute is in a very obvious way, but not in a way that's redundant. It's cool. It's a new song, but it feels like us. It's pretty straightforward, but it still has Jordan's lyricism, intensity. Everyone's contribution is quite cool and not over the top, and everything just moves in the same direction in a really cohesive way. It's a really good pivot point to start the record and say, hey, it's still us, but this is something, maybe a culmination of everything we've done, and we're going to do it the best we can.
be a musical favorite of mine, especially because it has this out of thin air kind of, I mean, it was more of a compositional thing of like, we just started playing that and that's the song. Like Brad and I made that riff and then built it and that's the song. So it feels like magic kind of when that stuff happens. And there are a few songs like that. We did a lot of Panorama that way, just me and Brad doing magic tricks. That one specifically, especially because it's the first on the album. So it was just like exciting. Like we have a direction, we have a movement.
I shaved my head in the sink, I left the water running, I watched my hair block the drain, and on the bathroom's flooding ground, built no work for myself, I longed for end times coming, I understood what it meant to need to kill and reset. Why are you so pissed about it? The world. Just open your eyes and look around you. Decades spent dissociated, backwards from the past, inside alive and laughing still. Minor change in desperation. Minor change in desperation. Mere shame, my bad reflection made. Unrecognized. It's so good. Oh, Jordan, you really did so well.
Shit, I'm stoked.
Yeah, great job.
Week one was good because we settled into some sort of routine. We were working out the process, working out how we were gonna structure our time to make sure we can finish everything,
Still collecting.
and also how people can function properly living in the same space for 4 weeks, and getting away from the demos that we've made that probably we got too attached to, and be okay with letting the songs turn into something different.
Recording is fun too, but it's also just somewhat taxing, I think, like mentally making so many decisions. It's somewhat all-consuming, yeah, revealing, and that can be hard, I think, especially when you even had ideas of what a thing was, and then when you hear it back, dissected and analyzed and all that, it's really like you see what's there, you see what's left, and sometimes that can be exciting and sometimes that can be scary. A lot of it is, I think, everybody having their voices heard and being able to listen. We've done better than we ever have on this record, for sure, with no question, that we've been able to, like, I think, allow people to try all the things they wanted to try and be everything they wanted to be. And like, I think everybody really kind of stepped into those roles even more so than we ever have before. I think in a lot of ways we were all our best selves, I think, for this.
So fun and sick.
the only opinion I need. Corey. Felt better to me. Fuck. Sorry, Adam. Let's do it again.
We're almost there. Have fucked myself, actually. I might need to get that "and" at the end of the phrase before I move, because I think I'm gonna have a hard time fitting it in unless there's a take with a little bit of a gap, because I sort of run those things together, which is why I can't do it as one.
Two apartments still unfurnished and indulgences unburdened. There's a figure disappearing with a briefcase to the front door in the crowd. Men with heads and ankles bound.
Yeah, let's get some freaky ones. More freaky. Fuck. Oh, yep, good.
On the ground.
Ah, fuck. I might need to break that.
It's the end result that makes it enjoyable. You look back on it and you're proud of what you've done. And the portions of it that weren't enjoyable are worth it in hindsight. But in the shit, when you're like really doing it, I don't know that it's fun.
That's it's Pulse. It's Blair Witch Project. It's me in the corner of the room.
They're fun moments. You're having fun with your friends and people you care about, and you're seeing them do great things. But like, it can be difficult to know that in the midst of it all.
And yesterday, like, we all did full passes and just, it was cool. I really liked it. It just felt quick and fun, and like, we didn't, I mean, we definitely, for some parts, tried a few things, but I don't think we overthought anything too long. We got it right, but we didn't like obsess over small things. When Chad's recording, it's always my favorite. I don't know why. It's just cool to hear. That's when I feel like the song is actually taking shape, because drums and bass, whatever. Like, I know how that's gonna sound, but Chad always has little surprises, so it's good.
Play the song
It
and
was more about-
move on.
I think more about
And-
feeling rather than getting everything perfect, and that's kind of what I wanted for this record going into it. So that's what was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it actually was working, what I had in my head.
It's gonna feel like us all playing
Yeah,
together.
that's, yeah, exactly.
What it is.
How's everyone feel for first draft?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool.
I mean, off the top of my head, even just thinking of like both guitars and we're not playing, and it's like as if you built up, but because we dropped off, it doesn't feel like a payoff in that kind of way. And then that also would lend itself nicely to like a guitar outro of this motif being pretty different. I think the almost in this like idea, the guitar by itself becomes like the sentient thought pattern, and the bass and drums become this sort of like back of your head thought pattern. And using that as sort of the lexicon for how we define parts and stuff kind of lends itself really well to balancing who's in control, who's in the narrative seat, if it's idle thought or conscious thought.
like I think go straight from the verse into the glimpses or the turnarounds, or I think I think they could also come after the turnarounds.
Yeah, true.
So it might be like you could even do the verse, a really short glimpse, the verse, turnaround, like something like that, where it's like you get a taste of it. Maybe it's not the whole thing.
And even extending the like turnaround part, because at the moment it's pretty short.
Yeah,
Similar to on Footsteps, where we do it once real short, and the second time through is a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
That could be cool too. Like 3 times through, and then after that third one, it's a longer all rest, 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 and then closed hats. And I think you guys, so it's kind of the opposite of what I said. Going into it, the guitars are more prominent, and then that third time, it kind of flattens out. So still big on the downbeat, but then it was just annoying when I thought this song was gonna be a piece of cake. Now it's giving me head.
Yeah, that'll happen though. We'll each have our own little beast days, I think. I just haven't had one yet.
You haven't. You and Chad have both absolutely crushed everything.
All 2 songs, Chad.
I feel like I was.
Today might be a little.
I feel like I was nervous.
Just getting the groove right. I think there's a lot of. I gotta figure out how to play all these things without having so much string noise.
I think that's my other big thing right now is like when we're all there and we're keeping my part. I think I'm just like restraining myself too much.
That's fair, but definitely don't. If you can, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll get looser with it as we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue of flames, light above, voice of God, smoking gun, beating heart, 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 beaten dog, snarling teeth, face of God, light above, beating heart, and us the blood, and all of us, beating heart.
His voice is what's gonna make all these songs make sense, because they all sound pretty different. But it gives me hope that that autofiction isn't just insane indulgence. Not that the first chance is bad, just it took so long to get to this spot, having contributed to and made this next record, which is only the second one I've been on. So I'm really proud of getting to this place, because who knows if a couple years ago it would have felt like we were going to even play shows again, much less try and create something new together. So yeah, I'm really proud. Having crossed 10 years is fucking huge. Doing something I love, doing it with people I love, having other people that we love along the way. And this kind of marks that. I think, like I said, again, everyone is, I think, at the height of what they're doing.
Oh, checking, subbing, doing stuff and saying words, saying stuff and saying other stuff, saying all kinds of stuff. Okay. A camera hung to capture on a traffic signal light.
and a flash on the path to Damascus, and a change when Saul went blind. I had visions in the city every day. Despite it all and what I saw, my sight remained. Yeah, let's just, I think we're sort of just gonna have to stumble into that last line being right. So let's just do it a couple times now. Faster, a tragedy to be and breathe, a curving road. That's a lot of me following your solo, Corey. That's a lot of me following your solo. I wanted to leave some space, but there's a couple parts where I very intentionally tried to hit it with you, and I think it sounds cool. I hope it does.
In the hallways at the hospital all night, I can see it now, the place where I had it since I left. Always hear you, I felt ashamed. You'd see me first and know how badly I needed you. Now I turned around, heading homebound, where every current on the ground pulled me back to you.
That felt great. That last line felt better. Cool. Well, let's see what we have. Worked through it, and now it's great. So, yeah, be really proud. I'm happy.
Beating heart, tongue of flames, light above, voice of God, a smoking gun. Beating heart, a beating heart, a beating heart, a beating heart, beating heart, a beating heart, beating heart, a beating heart, a beaten dog, snarling teeth, face of God, a light above, beating heart, in us the blood, in all of us, a beating heart.
A big part of this record, when I talked about the autofiction section of the record, is about the distance that grows over time between yourself and yourself, and how gradually you can, when you isolate yourself or when you refuse to engage with difficult things, self-critique, the trauma in your life, whatever doesn't add up. I am a deeply avoidant person, and I think that I have in the past few years realized how much that has affected me and how far away from that I got in doing so. And I don't think I deliberately sat down to talk about that when I had the initial ideas for this record. But the fact that it came out when I was doing it and when we were doing it is pretty powerful evidence that it is important for me to, one, fix that, and because it's done a lot of bad to my life. And to my relationships with the people I love. And also a really powerful reminder that this is a good way to do that. And it might also be the only way that I do it, you know? Which is kind of alarming.